Good afternoon. It really is a pleasure to be here today. And the Iowa adage of, win, graduate, and do it right. You hear about those things, and although I've been here on campus before, but when you come here and see it firsthand, it just reiterates the possibilities, the positivity, and the future of intercollegiate athletics. I mean, one of the things that has really resonated with me today is leadership and continuity. I mean, what President Bruce Harreld and Gary Barta, what you all have done here together, and I mean that together, and with the longevity of some of your coaches, is one thing to have longevity, and it's another thing to have longevity, collegiality, but also just consistency of the way to do things. And so I had a chance to see Coach Ferentz earlier today, and then Coach McCafferty here today, and have a special relationship with Coach McCafferty because he was a senior and I was a freshman on the University of Pennsylvania basketball team back in the early 1980s. And that's when I really learned to understand what it meant to be a student athlete, to work hard, to set goals, to dream big, to pull together, to sweat together, to really cheer for each other. And the one thing about Fran, I know he's very, very passionate. He's a hard worker, but I could tell even then that he was going to be a coach, because for a young black kid from Phoenix, Arizona, to go across the country, I didn't know I was younger than most people. I was only 17. My parents, I called my parents one day and said, I'm here as a freshman at 17, and most of my classmates are 18 and 19. How'd that happen? My mom said, you drove us crazy, so we just put you in school earlier than you should have been. But to have Fran, who was really mature, and he was a point guard both on and off the court, and I say it sincerely, I learned more about basketball from him than any other coach who I'd previously had, and he took the time and energy and effort to mentor me, and for that I will forever be grateful for that, Fran. So it's a pleasure to be here today. It's a pleasure to tour the campus, to meet so many people. My day started early with a great workout in the facility. My legs are a little wobbly right now. They put me on the bike and got some good cardio and weights in. And I think the biggest thing for me as a new commissioner of the Big Ten is just to make sure that I remember why I call this a movement, not a job, why I took an opportunity to lead a movement. And that really is because of the opportunity that we have for our student athletes. And I say this sincerely, I did it this morning, I did it last night, and I'll do it again tonight. I start every day on my knees in prayer for my family and the Big Ten Conference and loved ones, but also for the 10,000 student athletes that I represent on a daily basis. And I've always been a firm believer, if we keep our student athletes at the epicenter of all of our decisions, and we have some complicated decisions coming up over the next couple of years, we will make the right decisions. And to have a chance to spend time with them today, to understand their fears, their hopes, their dreams, their desires, their aspirations, it really is special. And it reaffirms that young people in today's society, they're special. They really are. They're hardworking. They want all the great things in life that we want for our own children: an opportunity to get a good education in a safe environment, an opportunity to compete in intercollegiate athletics, an opportunity to have support, and to know that we as adults are behind them, that we'll be tough on them, we'll be demanding, but that we understand that this world is a better place to have them in a good place in their life. And that's one of the reasons why a couple of my platforms that I've made it very clear, and you've heard me probably talk about it before, of things that are important to me, one of which is mental health and wellness. But the first thing above everything is making sure we educate, empower, encourage our student athletes not to be good, but to be exceptional. And under that, for us to do it, we need to make sure that they're healthy from a mental health and wellness standpoint, that we have financial literacy training for them. We teach them how to register to vote. We challenge them to be holistic citizens, not only while they are in our conference, but also prepare them for life after intercollegiate athletics. And that doesn't mean that everything's going to be smooth, everything's going to be happy, everything's going to be easy. And I think all of us, as we look back over the course of our life, it's during those times that we went through tough times that we became better by it and became better for it. And even though when we face tough times, I just want to make sure we have an environment here that we can help encourage our student athletes to persevere and to be tough themselves. So that's one of the first areas I want to focus on, as I said, is the education, empowerment, and encouragement of our student athletes. The second area is to make sure that we really continually capture the hearts and the minds of all of our fans. We live in a complex world. There are only a limited amount of dollars, and that's why I'm very interested in making sure we have the best facilities, the best resources, and the best game day experience to make sure that we get our fans to come and watch all of our Big Ten sports. And the third area is that we remain a viable conference from a financial standpoint. And so a lot of things we do, we can accomplish with heart, with passion, with desire, but many other things we do also, we need to make sure that we're fiscally responsible and that we do have financial resources to make sure that we can have the programs necessary to take care of our student athletes. And then the last area is to make sure that we build bridges for our constituents. We're fortunate to be where we are in the country. Our conference is contiguous. The states are contiguous. We go from Nebraska to New Jersey. We have 166 Fortune 500 companies in our Big Ten DMAs. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do is to make sure that I spend my time, my energy, and effort in helping this conference to continually prosper. It's not lost upon me as I stand here before you today that our conference started in 1896 and that there's only been 5 other men since 1896 to have held the job of commissioner in the Big Ten Conference. And so I actually have their framed pictures on the wall in my office, and that's the first pictures that I see when I walk in the morning. And to be able to look up and see those 5 men, John Griffith and Tug Wilson and William Reed and Wayne Duke and Jim Delaney, and to sit there to think since 1896 that there's been only 5 people to hold this office. So I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly that I'm the first African American to lead one of these A5 conferences. So I'm always looking for opportunities to make sure I do everything that I possibly can to build bridges, to build relationships, and hopefully one day that people will look at me in this position, not as a person of color, but as a person who was given an opportunity to work hard, to build a conference, and to be a leader. And that's one of the reasons I know many people have told me that I was a little off center when I said it, is that I was going to conduct 14 town hall meetings, go to all 14 of our campuses. But then I also said that I was going to attend all 350 games for our Big Ten teams. And I'm sticking to it, and I'm on target. I'm actually a little ahead because it was important for me not to do this job, especially the first couple years sitting at my desk in Chicago and in New York. But it was important for me to do this job actually in the community, on our campuses, and meeting with our coaches, our administrators, our presidents, our chancellors, and most of all, our student athletes. And that has been truly a blessing. And when you sit down and have a chance to talk with our student athletes, to really hear what's in their heart and what's in their mind, it just has verified and validated what I thought all along, that we have some wonderful people. We live in the greatest country on the face of the planet. Intercollegiate athletics is spectacular, and we have great coaches. We have some great leaders of our university and institutions. There are a lot of smart people on this world and in our colleges and universities, and we need to make sure that we hold true to the values of what our colleges and universities were built upon, and that is to give people an opportunity to get a world-class education and then compete as a student athlete. This is not professional sports. I spent 21 years in professional sports, and nor do I believe that it should be professional sports, that we need to make sure that we hold on firm to our collegiate model, but build an environment to make sure that we keep the student athlete at the epicenter of all of our decisions. So with that, again, it's been a pleasure to be here today, to become part of your family, and to welcome us as part of your family. We have some people here from the Big Ten office, Diane Dietz, who's been there for many years, and Jess Palermo and Grace and Adam, who have joined us, and then my wife, Greta. who's been on this journey. We've been on this journey together for 28 years. We've been fortunate to have two wonderful kids. Our daughter Perry was a student athlete at Occidental College in Los Angeles, and she lives in Chicago, not with us, fortunately 2 miles away, and she runs our family foundation now and does special projects. And then we have our son Powers, who's a football student athlete at Mississippi State University. So a lot of the things that I believe, a lot of the things that I say, a lot of the things that I do is also based upon, raising student athletes in our homes and actually having a son currently right now in an A5 conference where I get a chance to hear from not only from him, but also from his other teammates regarding what it really means to be a student athlete and the ups and downs that they face on a daily basis. So with that, again, thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for everything that you've done.